Legacy overhead, Matt phoned me. I was filling out a compliance audit form when the video connection crackled. There he was, Matt, scarcely 30, the type of chap who'd utter synergy in bed and believe Excel macros to be sorcery. The CFO presented him as the efficiency fixer, corporate speak for hatchet man with a smile. Tanned, teeth whitened, alpha male fade fresh from Google. Hi all, he sneered, like a keg stand frat boy at a wedding. I'm here to streamline operations, eliminate redundancies. His eyes locked on me through the screen, sizing up which antique to toss. I didn't flinch, just saved my folder, every licensing doc, federal renewal timestamp, compliance chain tied to my name, labeled it church pancake recipes, and backed it to a private drive. Dana Miller doesn't go down like a rookie. By lunchtime, I heard him talking in the break room, joking with the junior analysts about phasing out boomer infrastructure. I'm 42, not a boomer, but in Matt's universe, if you don't TikTok your workflow, you're dead. Then the huddle, open plan drivel, everyone standing like it was some sort of ritual to exorcise sense. Matt's slide deck shouted buzzwords: agile compliance ecosystem, decentralized accountability hubs. 3 interns nodded like they'd seen Elon Musk's specter. Some members of the team, particularly those with legacy responsibilities, will be re-evaluated for lean strategy alignment, he said, his eyes locked on mine. We value your legacy work, Dana. Legacy, like I was a sarcophagus in HR's basement. I smiled, the kind you give when a bear trap you've set for a decade springs shut and someone walks into it. I worked late that evening, not for duty's sake, but to see the system take a breath, as a mother keeps an eye on her children before the trouble comes. I confirmed my credentials on 3 federal websites: active certification, renewal control, licensing PIN, audit clearance, all linked to my name, timestamps in sync. I copied my contract's clause 7C, in case of involuntary termination, all company-funded licensing obligations and regulating certifications will be rendered null and void, credentials revoked within 48 hours of contract invalidation. No one saw me depart, but I caught Matt's lion-to-cow glare that morning without realizing this cow had predator drones. Ever witness a man confuse a fuse for a shoelace? You will. By Tuesday, Matt posted a compliance is not equal to complacency sign over the copier, in Comic Sans. Then the serious business. Everyone had to re-interview for their evolved positions, sold as an icebreaker, as if we should thank him for bringing us job offers already on our insurance cards. Employees streamed into conference rooms like children to the principal's office. New recruits walked out smiling, mimicking, Matt sees me, he's fresh air. I was going to say that air was from a broken sewer. My turn. I carried no resume, only silence. Matt hardly glanced up from his laptop. Dana, you've been around for a while. 10 years, I replied, calm as a snowstorm in a cucumber patch. Right. Institutional knowledge. We prize that. His fingers tapped, likely slacking fire dinosaur. He displayed a half-baked org chart, my name stricken through under regulatory stewardship, open for reassignment. A tab titled Q3 License Renewal Plan V1 contained a note. Can this be pushed downstream? Downstream translated to dumped on someone too naive to spell OSHA. I smiled, but internally, sirens blared. I sat at my desk and opened the database I'd created in 2016, managing 43 compliance certificates, expiration dates, governing agencies, signature authority, all of which were tied to me. I exported a new copy, encrypted it, zipped it, gave it the name Employee Birthday Cake List, and sent it to a personal account. Then I cleared recent items. Paranoid? Perhaps, but I've seen children with matches refer to it as innovation. Later, Matt reassigned my inspection prep to a marketing intern who believed FDA stood for Food Design Aesthetic. She wanted to know if it was about lunchroom posters. I was also charged with rearranging the janitorial supply shelf, concrete, he said, like mold. I inquired if I still had admin permission to the licensing portal. Matt blinked, as if I'd just talked Aramaic. Oh, we diverted that to Chloe last week. You don't need it, do you? Chloe, who recently learned what a PDF is. I nodded, logged onto a terminal down the hall, and revoked her permissions from my shadow admin console, never shared. If I were getting off the boat, the map remained with me. I walked by Matt's glass-walled cubicle. He laughed on a call regarding scrubbing out old wood. He didn't notice me, but I noticed the fuse trim, the air filled with smoke. 3 junior analysts chuckled over my compliance flowchart outside the break room, naming it a Crayola box for hand-stamped timestamps. Do they know automation is a thing? One scoffed, drinking cold brew, flipping slick iteration like it halted audits. I passed by, head held high, back searing. By Wednesday, I was locked out of 3 dashboards, 2 I'd created. No notice, just a 403 error. Contact your system administrator. Spoiler: I was the administrator. Emailed IT, no response. Called HR, got voicemail chillier than a Detroit January. After 4 attempts, a human. Sorry Dana, all requests go through your manager, Matt. As if he were God, only with a healthier dose of hair gel. I hung up, gazing at my bright, blank screen. Severed from all interfaces in 7 days. No word, just efficiency. Matt was MBA crafty, never quite enough to construct, but enough to disassemble by policy revisions and reorg memos. His weekly leadership reports delivered grenades, legacy processes up for review, staffing duplications, duplicate certification management. Adorable, as if you could overlap a federally required signature linked to my biometrics. I worked but was blotted out. I scheduled a 10-minute notary time over a nail salon on Monroe Avenue. No pomp and circumstance, just me, a rigid chair, a voluntary relinquishment of licensing authority form, notarized, not signed, a safety pin in my pocket for a freefall. I came back with a peppermint latte and a dead smile. Matt walked by in the hallway. Hope you're aligned this week. I nodded. Tying up loose ends. He gave me a corporate snake grin, the one beside Crush It in Barnes & Noble. He did not know that each loose thread I wrapped around had a fuse. And I was holding the match. Monday smacked like microwaved plastic, everyone pretending to love their job to stay alive. Matt's Momentum Sync, a TED Talk for sociopaths, began in the bullpen's open floor. He stood there in his rumpled blue blazer, palms out, soothing sheep. Let's begin with candor, he said. That's how you understand someone's going to slice you alive in public. We've been thinking, Matt said, pacing as though selling hell timeshares. Tradition is important, but stagnation is a danger. He halted at my back. I didn't look. Some legacy positions are no longer compatible with our momentum forward, he declared, loudly, clearly. Chairs creaked, eyes to the floor. One in turn attempted a smile, as though this was a parking spot argument, not a living. Then the hammer, immediate effect, Dana Miller's job is eliminated. No meeting, no warning, just a bullet through the air. I stood there, legs planted, wanting to boot him through the wall. 2 HR reps, fresh-faced, not making eye contact, came up with a shiny folder like it was a holy relic. I opened it, went to the firing page. No severance, just legalese and a place to sign. I grabbed my pen, signed in one motion. I'll require a printed version, I said. Matt blinked. It's all electronic. Printed, I reiterated. HR hesitated. I glared. 4 minutes later, I left with a stapled receipt, as serene as a woman who knew what she'd unleashed. My signature triggered Clause 7C in 3 federal databases, an intangible tripwire. All company-funded certifications, my certifications, auto-revocation queued, invalidated, not merely lapsed. At 7:13 p.m., my phone binged, your control over licenses #CN8835-44, #FD2210-98, #MDR5081-02 officially surrendered. Organizations relying on those licenses flagged as non-compliant within 24 hours unless reproved by a certified successor. I didn't send it on, didn't screenshot, just drank boxed Merlot, watched reruns of Golden Girls, and let the noose close around Matt's momentum. I slept like a goddamn baby. Wednesday, 9:04 a.m., procurement attempted confirming a delivery of medical-grade filtration parts, biohazard stamped, signature locked. Vendor's reply, cannot fulfill. Receiving entity inactive. License CN 8835-44 expired. Contact certifying officer. Guess who? 10 minutes later, anomalies piled up, failed logins, choked API calls, an FDA audit sync rejected. Invalid license holder. The compliance dashboard, my green lawn baby, lit up like a Christmas tree in hell. Red alerts, inactive flags, orphaned credentials. Matt, to-go cup in hand, strolled into the ops pod. We'll update the contact info, he said, smooth as a downtown barista. Renee, a just barely 21 compliance analyst, attempted to explain. Sir, updates must be certified reauthorized. Dana was the duly certifying officer. So do it, Matt barked. She was the only credentialed officer authorized for reauthorization company-wide. Re-registration takes weeks. Silence, not uncomfortable, lethal, like seeing someone notice the iceberg isn't moving. Matt massaged his temples. Why wasn't I informed? Renee, not old enough to rent a car, replied. Dana informed individuals. I was at home, wearing sweatpants, munching on counterfeit Cheerios, scanning an email thread someone BCC'd me on. Matt slacked to legal. Does anyone have a clue on how to override a license expiration tag in the dashboard doohickey? Doohickey. My 5-year-old dashboard tightened up tighter than Fort Knox on revocation. It blacklisted rogue IPs, auto-reported incursions to audit logs. Matt found this out when he brute-forced access, raising alarms. By lunchtime, chairs pinged top management. Can we have Dana return? Does her NDA shut off communication? Who approved out? No one replied. I was deciding between soup or wings. I ate both. That night, LinkedIn continued to show the company's federally certified status. I felt nearly guilty. Nearly. The fib would cost more than pride by Thursday. The vines were closing in. Friday, 10 a.m., an FDA randomized inspection struck, legit, within my yearly budgeted timeframe, cross-matched with vendor deadlines and renewal schedules. Auditors came in clipboards and IRS-level stripes. At 9:22, the front desk paged compliance, 3 inspectors. They need the license holder. Long, deafening silence. Matt, sweating through his Banana Republic jacket, ran to ops, yelling at legal, "Can we reinstate Dana's credentials?" A junior associate Googled license reinstatement like it was a banana bread recipe. Matt attempted my old login on the federal credentialing portal. Access denied. Password reset? User not found. He phoned the regulatory board, bounced 3 times, and then heard, Dana Miller voluntarily relinquished her license authority. ID removed. Reinstatement requires full recertification, 4 to 6 weeks. Matt glared at the speakerphone like it slapped his mother. He turned to HR. What clause did she use? They riffled through my file, perplexed. Standard exit forms. None on credentials. Audit interjected. Didn't she have a clause in her contract? The room recalled, I wasn't a compliance granny. I was the fulcrum they pulled like a tooth attached to the spine. Across town, my phone rang. Liz from documentation, who brought audit week cookies and drew post-it doodles on my screen. Dana, her voice cracked. Did you do this? I stirred my coffee, looked at nothing, smiled. No, I said quietly. You did. I did not hang up rough, did not scream, too much credit. This was not revenge, it was arithmetic. 1 + 1. You fired the wrong individual. Auditors sat in the lobby. Without a licensed compliance professional, the audit would have to stop. Each vendor and customer affiliated with certified compliance was contract breach in 4 hours. I was having my nails done, midnight burgundy gel. Power doesn't yell, it exits. Monday, 8:37 a.m., stale coffee, sweat, and the stench of a company realizing it trod upon its own oxygen hose. That's when he entered. Gregory T. Winslow, CEO, strode through the glass atrium, tan radiant like burnt rotisserie chicken, silk shirt wrinkled from some Monaco resort. He exuded wealth, sunscreen, obliviousness, waving at receptionists, finger-gunning junior VPs. Morning, everyone. Hope you didn't torch the joint. Nobody laughed. 3 unread priority license compliance emails and a voicemail from legal, ending in non-compliance catastrophe, awaited him. At 9:02 a.m., he slammed into the ops room anticipating turbulence, and found a plane crash. Operations locked up, vendor deliveries stalled, inspections failed, certifications useless, clients enraged, revenue dashboard flatlined. Red-eyed managers confronted him, jaw clenched. Who's dealing with this? Everyone laid into Matt, less prophetic, more middle school student caught spilling glitter glue in the gym. Gregory yanked my firing papers onto a wall screen, read in stunned silence, scrolled, then spoke in a low, incredulous tone. You fire the sole federal licensing authority in the entire department? Matt's mouth dropped open, closed. Gregory's voice fell icy. The individual with sole federal licensing responsibility in the entire department? Matt stumbled. Her duties were duplicative. Gregory's guffaw was not laughter. It was my kid sold our car for crypto anguish. He gestured toward the screen. Her name's on every regulatory form, every license, every renewal, every compliance chain we have to stay in business. He shuffled a manila folder from legal like a blackjack dealer. Top 5 suspended vendors, contracts on hold, all connected to Dana Miller. He turned to the room. And you let a teenager authoring buzzword soup let her go? Matt's Hail Mary. I figured we could reassign it, refresh contact information. It's a federal license, not an email alias, Gregory thundered. Silence. He grabbed his phone, found my contact. Nothing. HR piped up. We tried reaching her. She's unresponsive. Gregory rubbed his temples, sunburn crawling behind his eyes. Get her back. Pay her, grovel, name a wing after her. But he knew, I, tossed like moldy leftovers, held the kingdom's keys. I wasn't at the gate. I'd built another castle, my name inked permanently in their blueprints. Justice didn't yell, it let them hemorrhage on their own spreadsheets. By lunchtime, Gregory's inbox contained 6 high-priority emails from Winslow Enterprises comms and a voicemail from Trevor, an assistant who sounded like he hadn't had sleep since Thursday, perhaps trading a kidney. Last email subject, urgent, return requested by CEO directive. I didn't read it, just ate my breakfast. 2 eggs over medium, sourdough toast, soaking up the buzz of my home espresso machine. Across town, Gregory stalked his suite like a lion in customer service. Matt, relegated to Associate Project Liaison Level 2, corporate for sit down, shut up, don't touch passwords, lost his standing desk to a creaky hand-me-down, his monitor now a 19-inch square. His agility was how quickly he got thrown under the bus. Legal wrote me a proposal, consulting gig, instant start, 6-month contract, lower pay, fat bonuses, complete gag order, no social media, interviews, or regulator statements. With a groveling attachment. Dana, we see your crucial value. Kindly assist with restoring operational integrity. We're open-minded. Let's rebuild. Greg. No apology, all desperation in HR drag. I read it twice, and then responded. Subject. Return requested by CEO directive. Gregory, thank you for the gesture. Alas, I don't go back to firing from burning buildings, particularly those where I was tossed into flames for streamlining. Below, highlighted Clause 7C, proof of revocation of license from the National Registry Board, and your certification dashboard screen capture, 72 hours after termination. My name's still there, grayed out, cannot be replaced. Wishing you compliance and transparency. Dana Miller. No flair, no threats, just receipts. I clicked send, breathed, not grieving a job, but slamming a door I'd constructed, installed, bolted from the outside. Gregory read it in silence, didn't forward, didn't respond, but gazed at the grayed-out dashboard, understanding they hadn't laid off an employee, they'd excommunicated the one who knew the religion. I wasn't praying anymore. 3 weeks later, LinkedIn flickered. There I was, Dana Miller, hair lighter, smile sharper, in business black, like I came to collect. New job, Director of Compliance, Stratex BioCore. My tweet was concise, no hashtags. Thankful to be part of a team where integrity is not an afterthought. Below, courteous hellfire, Stratex BioCore wins Omega Med and Viarc contracts, attributing ongoing compliance confidence. Those were Winslow's crown jewels, bragged about on earnings calls, now lost after their certification backlog exceeded an unknown reactivation window. Stratex didn't require a hard sell. My licensing master plan and industry credibility sealed the deal. Back at Winslow, the dashboard remained red. License appeals got lost in bureaucracy, fines poured in, some automatic, some hand-delivered like holy hate mail. Vendors fell away, clients panicked, the holiday party was cancelled for budgetary realignments. Matt received no goodbye cake, but rather a 3-minute Zoom and a transition plan that sounded like an obituary. 1 week he barked orders, the next he was a freelance strategist, with nebulous resume filler. I had a corner office, glass walls, espresso machine, a non-squeaking chair. Every morning, I saw industry notices like storm warnings I'd flown past. Winslow Enterprises marked non-compliant. License pending. Audit failures appealed. I drank Colombian black, a sprinkle of smug, and sat back, tranquil, balanced. Sitting above my desk, held down with a blue pushpin, a yellow sticky note, no signature, simply 5 words typed out in solid block letters. I was the license.